Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video we'll be sharing some quickfire quotes and notes on the Lacey family as featured in Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So the monster observes the Lacey family and hopes that they will become his friends. The old man Lacey in particular is quite an impressive man. He is both blind but is depicted as warm-hearted. He's also shown to be someone who did have wealth and whose son Felix has helped demolish that wealth, yet he doesn't in any way undermine the fact that he loves his son just the same. Mr. de Lacey, due to his blindness, is the only character to show kindness in any form to the monster. The most important symbolic function of this family is its strong relationship. It's as if Shelley's created this strong relationship between the family members to emphasise the monster's isolation and loneliness. The monster's desperation scares Mr. de Lacey when he hears the monster's story, and actually pushed Felix, Mr. de Lacey's son, to misunderstand the monster's intentions and beat him with a stick. More than anything, this family accepts Safi, the beautiful exotic Arabian girl, and yet they do not find a space for the monster. He's rejected by seemingly decent people. And so now, as we unpack the key quotations that lead the monster to the decision that they are worthy people, we have to unpick what else they represent. Agatha, the ever-gentle Agatha, kissed the hands of the lovely stranger. Answer the 3 questions and consider the statement, and hit pause if you need thinking time. So this is the monster speaking about how the family react to the introduction of Safi in chapter 5 of the text. The repetition of Agatha reflects her virtuous nature. She's regarded as gentle through the adjective that's used to describe her, and the action of kissing Safi's hands shows us as the reader that the true kindness of Agatha's personality is her warm heart and her inviting character. The adjective used to describe Safi as a lovely stranger is enticing. Perhaps it's why Shelley includes Safi in the first place. Perhaps Shelley is showing us that the family are welcoming to people who they do not know necessarily, and that in some ways that business of loving the stranger is something that the monster desperately seeks. His horror and indignation were uncontrollable when he heard the decision of the court. Consider the 3 questions and the statement on this quotation, and by all means hit pause if you need thinking time. So, this is the monster speaking about Felix in chapter 6. The effect on us as readers of the description of Felix's feelings of horror and indignation using the adjective uncontrollable shows that he doesn't accept injustice. He cannot believe what he's heard. Perhaps Shelley presents Felix in this way as to give us hope that he will perceive the injustice of how the monster has been treated. Bear in mind that, we will learn of Justine and how she suffers, falsely accused and imprisoned, and later that we will learn of how Victor is falsely imprisoned. And whilst he doesn't hang like Justine, he will suffer the judgment of others. It's also dramatic irony in this particular quote, for Felix does not have any sense of rage at the injustice of how the monster has been treated. In fact, he perpetuates the pain and horror and suffering that the monster faces by rejecting him in later chapters. But we need to see that Felix is human. And in many ways, this foreshadows the fact that Felix will reject the monster. It's as if Felix has a mindset for his own suffering and the injustice of those he loves, and he cannot tolerate those that he doesn't understand, like the monster. The hearts of men are full of brotherly love and charity. Consider the 3 questions and the statement, and hit pause if you need thinking time. So this is Mr. de Lacey in chapter 7. And the engagement with the sense of the hearts, alongside, the hearts of men, but alongside these abstract nouns of the brotherly love and charity, set us up as readers to hope the monster may be accepted. Shelley includes this speech from de Lacey to capture the monster's hope that he will be included, but perhaps also to set up the hypocrisy of mankind, as the monster is about to be rejected. It seems strange that we would hear such loving words of virtue, only for them to be toppled down by the actions of de Lacey's own son, Felix. I and my family have been condemned, although innocent. Judge therefore if I do not feel for your misfortunes. Consider the 3 questions and the statement before hitting pause. So how did you get on? This is Mr. de Lacey speaking. It's in chapter 7. And it's interesting because Mr. de Lacey is describing his family as being judged, condemned, despite being innocent. And in many ways, we as readers hope that the de Lacey family will accept the monster on these grounds alone. Unfortunately, Shelley again is giving the monster hope that he will be accepted, so that when she removes this hope, it will be all the more bitter for him. But it's interesting, isn't it, the business of judge therefore if I do not feel for your misfortunes. Because in many ways the family should be judged, because they do not feel for the monster's misfortunes. Is this abject hypocrisy? Or is this one burden too many for a family that have struggled against some hardship? Whether we see the de Lacey family as merely a symbol of strong family ties, or another example of rejection for the monster, we must examine that Shelley's sheer purpose by including this family is to extol the struggle that mankind sets up for the monster, where he cannot be accepted for what he is, and he must be rejected because he cannot fit in. Your view on this family definitely shapes your interpretation of the monster, so it's worth weighing up what these quotations tell you. Without a shadow of a doubt, this is not just a minor character family. They represent something far greater about mankind. Why not subscribe to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar for all things English, literary and grammatical?